I would have never...
Well, being a Christian woman, I can't say it.
Oh dear.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
The coffee is steaming, oh boy how I'm dreaming, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. My baby likes bacon, and that's what I'm making, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. Our life has been so nice and chummy, right from the start. When I want her tummy, I want her heart. My baby is happy, no wonder I'm happy, while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott, welcoming you back to a Kitchen Counter Thrift Haul. And today, Sunday, I think it's Sunday. In other words, I think this video is going to air on Sunday evening. What a nice time to be back in Granny's kitchen. And I say Granny's kitchen affectionately. I think we all have memories of our mothers, grandmothers, and even great-grandmothers' kitchens. Now, you know I like the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, and we're going to stay in the Depression era today and talk about some glassware that our grandmothers or great-grandmothers might have purchased at Woolworths in town for very little money. But it was American-made, hard-wearing glassware and such that is still floating around in many kitchens today. Well, maybe not many kitchens today, but at least in the kitchens of folks who I think are watching this channel. Let's begin by looking at some Anchor Hocking and some different colors here, which, depending on the color settings on your camera or television, may look identical or may not, but actually we've got two different colors of white. In 1947 or 48, Hocking introduced ovenware. Now forget about this D-handled mug for a minute. But in the 1948 catalogs, they introduced ivory white Fire King, and the ivory white came in two different colors. It came in ivory, and it also came in white. Did I confuse you? That's white. That's ivory white. Okay. This is the D-handled mug, which we know comes in a number of colors. Peach luster, Delphite, or Azurite, Jadeite, and so forth. I have some sparkling, some kind of sparkling water in there. I don't know what kind it is. It was what I had in the refrigerator. Let's have a sip. And that's good. It's not that hot today. Anyway, this isn't for sale. Everything else is, but this is out to show you the different contrast in colors. There's white. Can you see a slight difference? I imagine the lights of my camera are making it somewhat difficult. These are the little 8-ounce, 1 pint individual casserole dishes. They're not toys. They were not from a child's set. You'll sometimes see them listed that way. What a way to treat your guests with a little individual macaroni and cheeses. Cheeses? Well, how about chili? in these dishes. Now, the ivory colored dishes had ivory colored lids. The ivory white with these 402 lids were introduced and sold in crystal. These are harder to find in this particular color than the pure ivory color. The ivory white is a little harder to find. And these little tiny things are cute. Now, you remember when I bought these, I said I had buyer's remorse because I thought I had paid too much, and we'll see. They're super clean. I love the knobs on the lids, and they're almost appear to be unused. So these were made from, introduced in 1948 and run into the early 50s. I want to give references. My information on these particular casserole dishes here comes from a wonderful book on Fire King. And we can see here ivory and ivory white, and this is the full description. And this is just another one of those wonderful books by the late great Gene Florence. Fire King Value Guide. I recommend it. That happens to be, I don't know if there was more than one edition. Here's the 6th edition of his kitchen glassware book over the years, which has been helpful to me as well. So I have to tell you about the books. I'm always screaming about books. Yes, I am always touting the benefits of good, well-researched and edited books over the information that you can find on the internet, because I would have never found all of that specific and accurate information on these casserole dishes. Believe me, I spent some time Googling and couldn't come up with that information, but good old Gene Florence came through for me again. Thank you, Mr. Florence. So these are listed for sale in the Old Curiosity Shop. Let's stick with Anchor Hocking, or Hocking, because it wasn't until 1937 that the two got together. Back here are 4 swirl sherbet dishes in the depression green color, which glow under black light, of course, and oh, good grief, hundreds of thousands of these were made. These are nice and thick, no chips, no cracks, shiny and clean, and they glow beautifully. You'll be able to find your rice pudding in the dark if you have a UV light this Christmas. 2 mixing bowls over here. A tiny one, which these little ones are hard to find, and that's not from a child's set. That one is unmarked. This one has a early Hocking glass mark on it, and we'll get right in there and see. I'll try to anyway. Okay, we see an H and a G, and a C and an O. Hocking Glass Company. So obviously that's before 1937. When they joined Anchor. Now this one is okay. There are some light scratches in it, but it's heavy glass. It's nice and clean. As I said, just a few scratches. I haven't identified this yet because at the time of this shooting of the video, it's not listed. It's going to be listed when the video goes up. So maybe by then I'll attribute a maker to it. You saw this before. It's a little Depression Cream and Sugar in pink, which looks a lot like EAPG, which was really out of style by the time this pink glass came in. A little unusual in its shape. Now, there aren't any, I'm going to say, major chips on this. Somebody has stored it in a cabinet like that, is my guess. And there's some roughness around. Now the handles are smooth. This isn't a crack, it's just another one of those non-fire polished mold lines that you see in depression glass. Right there, see that? But you can see up here around the rim, there is some little edge roughness. You see right in there? There you see it. Yeah, it doesn't really qualify as like a major chip. It's just a little bit of roughness. And this glass wasn't fire polished either. Gee, I should know the name of this. Starburst Daisy Button. Oh my goodness. Millions of patterns. Pattern names in this glass like this. And then we'll look at the creamer. And it again has just a hint of roughness around the edges. And I think the spout over here, now we're not getting any real focus in there. So, but I think you'll still be pleased with these. They're very pretty and can be used. What would have been part of a range set made by Harker, very Art Deco. That's the lard container for when our grandmothers saved kitchen fat for future use. All these little points are just asking to be chipped, are they not? Well, they were asking, but their dream didn't come true. There's not a chip anywhere on this. Super clean. And a lot of times these old lard buckets, lard containers, are going to be awful stained on the inside. You know, this one is beautiful, so you could do all kinds of things with it. It's not marked, but it's Harker. I think a subscriber helped me out with that, because it saved me from looking it up in one of my books. And what I like about it, very Art Deco, you've got the flowers here, which is not it's a decal, but it's underneath of the glaze. Someone didn't decorate it themselves. But if you aren't going to use it for lard, turn it around this way and put your own label in there. Yeah? What would you put on there? Cinnamon? Tea bags? I don't know. Splenda? So excellent condition, Art Deco, love it. A pattern made by Anchor Hocking that does not get enough applause, I guess I'll say, or attention. Now it's blown. Now it's left my mind. Not Wexford. We know. We're familiar with the Wexford pattern. Oh shucks! Isn't that awful? It's not Windsor? No. Ugh. Anyway, I've got it listed, and I know the name of the pattern, and it is a late 30s into the early 40s pattern. There's a ball pitcher. This holds 4 cups, whatever that is. Is that 32 ounces? I don't know, but perfect for the breakfast table. Now, come on, it's not Wexford. I know the Wexford pattern. Anyway, it's in the auction. You'll see it when you go to the eBay page. You'll see the name of the pattern. This little quilted pattern. Windsor? Anyway, I love these little ball pitchers with the ice lip. That's a nice one. I like the size. Rings. Anchor Hocking came on the scene. That's an early Depression pattern. Late 20s. They started making it. There's a perfectly good large pitcher with no damage on it. The collectors of the rings pattern know that you'll often get fading and paint loss on these stripes. You put this through a dishwasher and the luster will disappear. It will just simply vanish like coffee cake at coffee hour after church. It doesn't last. But this is nice and shiny, nice luster, nice and clean. Big pitcher there. You can find it with all different colors in the stripes. That's Federal glass, not Anchor Hocking. Yeah, just looking at it, you think, oh, there's that batter bowl. But Federal made one too in their oven glass, and this one is clearly marked Federal underneath there. So 1940s in white. And then here's another mixing bowl. We have a couple pink mixing bowls. I'm kind of trying to speed it up here. It makes me mad that I know that pattern name, and I typed it in the description box in the auction, and I can't remember it now. Here's a Hazel Atlas mixing bowl. The Rest Well bowl with the rolled edge and the paneled sides in pink. Measurements, again, as I said, can be found if you go to the auction site. Here's another one with ribbed sides and a pedestal, a little footed base there. Pink pink mixing bowl. And hanging here in the way, getting in the way, I'm going to assume are some little pot holders that somebody made for the old kitchen. Now these are very small, so maybe you just use these for stovetop. Trying to get an old, pot off the stove that's hot. Because these little, is it crochet needlework? Some kind of needlework. You can open up these little dresses and get your that part of your hand up in there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so you put your hand in that there, and your other hand in here. I can't do it while I'm holding the camera. And then you can pull your pot right off the stove. I would not use these for anything that you're pulling out of a hot oven. I think you would burn yourself. I wonder who made these. And you can hang that around your neck or just use it as a decoration in the kitchen. I'm skipping all over. That's got a little bit of damage on the lid. You still can use it as it is, or even just epoxy the damage on the lid if you wanted to go that far. The lid is plastic, and there's a split in it right there. You see that split? I know you do. See it? So if you keep screwing this lid on too tightly, you will break that off. The lid is held on tightly as it is. I didn't see that split in the plastic. So use it as a decoration, or put a little, take the lid off, fill that crack with epoxy, and it'll last for another 157 years. That one, little syrup jug there. And Anchor Hocking Philby Sapphire Blue individual little tiny ovenware dish here, and we have a spare lid, which is going to go all by itself in an auction. And then here's one with its lid on it. So this is being sold. You could use this as a refrigerator dish, but it's oven glass. So I think you can also bake a tiny little mini green bean casserole in that. Portion control. So just one of these. Okay? I'm going to come back and tell you what that is. Okay, it was bugging me. Waterford. W-A-T-E-R. And people in my neck of the woods pronounce that word wooder. So, being a proud South Jersey native, I would say Waterford, but everybody would laugh at that. So Waterford glass is the name of that pattern, and it came on the scene in the 30s. Waterford glass by Anchor Hocking. Okay, I think that's it. And of course that clock had to go off right while I'm saying goodbye to you. Thanks everyone for joining me in Granny's Kitchen. You don't ever have to feel like you have to buy something from the old curiosity shop. I just love that you enjoy spending time going down memory lane and thinking about times past and wonderful moments in the kitchen with loved ones, and that's what this brings back to our mind. Fond memories, perhaps of folks that are no longer here that might have used these things and cherished them in times past. Okay folks, if it is Sunday evening wherever you are, have a wonderful restful night. I'll see you next week. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. So long for now.